So anyways, in Phoenix, they're dealing with all this crap. And now apparently it comes out they've been active in trade discussions with Jae Crowder as a possible outgoing player. They're already in the luxury tax. They got to get out of it. Brian Windhorst, who knows he is the oracle of the NBA, he says the Suns are active, very active within the last week. Yes, doing the finger point. He's on the market. Whether or not there's going to be a deal for him, again, I'm quoting Windhorst, that we'll have to wait and see. He's on the last year of his deal. It's possible they can do a deal that would bring back more money on. They're not afraid to spend. So maybe they're looking at Bojan Bogdanovic from the Jazz. Several teams are bidding on him. Also, Cam Johnson, contract extension. They're working on that. So you and I both agree when we saw this. Jae Crowder would be perfect for this team.
Perfect.
Now, we've talked before about how there's not enough stars on this team, but there's a bunch of, like, basketball guys.
Mm-hmm.
Jae Crowder's a guy who's not a star, but he's from his Celtics years, from his Suns years. This guy's a playoff-tested dog. Miami.
Played a long time.
Think about the cultures he's been around. And, yeah, I'm even counting the Suns culture because you've got Chris Paul. You've got that whole crew in there. Mikal Bridges, even though he's young, coming up. That's a good player culture there, led by their coach, who is Monty Williams, who's fantastic. So being able to grab a guy like Jae Crowder, he's not gonna give you 20 and 10. It's not one of those moves that's flashy. It's one of those moves that honestly could pay off in the long run when it comes to accountability and leadership.
Jae Crowder's the type of dude that's going to check you in practice if you're BSing.
Yes, that's what they need. He okay, I don't want to call him. When I say something like he's diet Draymond Green, I in no way, shape, or form mean that Jae Crowder's defense is at a level of Draymond Green, or to make that comparison. What I mean is he is a fiery Draymond, Pat Beverly, Jae Crowder, Marcus Smart, all different and different levels of different things.
He's a dog, man.
That gritty dogginess that the Kings sorely lack.
He's the type of dude that if he sees his teammate get thrown down on the ground, he's the first guy that's going to get in someone's face.
Correct. So, Jae Crowder makes just over $10 million a year.
It's not bad.
Right. So then the question becomes, well, what could the Kings do in order to take on Jae Crowder? And honestly, I don't know, man. The only thing I can think of is that maybe they take on a little bit of salary. The only move I see that would, I mean, there's a couple of moves that would quote unquote work, but I just keep coming back to Harrison Barnes.
Mm-hmm.
And because Jae Crowder can play that same position, they can slide. Now that's also a position they're very, very thin at. So you could also make the argument, hold on, dude, that's the last guy you want to trace, Harrison Barnes. Bring Jae Crowder in to help supplement that position at the three.
The other side, the other guy you look at though too that might actually work too is someone like a Rashawn Holmes. You do have a lot of size. You have a lot of big men right now. And he's the type of guy you can make that work contractually. And if you're Phoenix, you don't know what's going to happen with DeAndre Ayton. Clearly, he did not sign back there willingly.
Right.
So it may be a thing where mid-season, if things are not going the way they're supposed to be going and all these distractions they have, he might be a guy they try to get off of. Would be nice to have some insurance there.
Yeah, nope, absolutely. I agree. And other than that, I mean, there's really nobody else in there you're going to look to move. You could pile together the Terrence Davises and Alex Lenz of the world. I don't know what that does for them.
You'd have to add, I think, a couple second-round picks if you're doing something like that, which, again, might be intriguing to Phoenix.
The only thing about the Holmes deal is that he's signed for another 2 years after this one, the player option in the second. He makes 11, 12, and 12, almost 13. So I'm just trying to look for a way to get them out of the tax, but obviously Barnes for Crowder isn't going to do it. They're actually taking on a little bit more money in that case.
Well, I think Barnes is a better player than Crowder. I think Phoenix would love the idea. If they're talking about wanting Bojan Bogdanovic, they would gladly take Harrison Barnes. If I were the Kings, I'd actually need a little something more than Jae Crowder.
I think Harrison Barnes is a better player. I do. But do you think Jae Crowder might be a better player for the Kings?
You're basically asking him to step into a starting role, which I don't think at this point is Jae Crowder's, cup of tea. I think Jae Crowder's definitely a guy you bring off the bench. I don't think I think Harrison Barnes is. I get where you're going with it from a mentality standpoint. I'd agree. If we could put Jae Crowder's mentality in Harrison Barnes, oh my God, he would be great. But I think Harrison is that much more talented where it actually does you a disservice.